Ayan, and hello po sa lahat ng nag-enroll sa Servitech Institute Asia. Maraming salamat. So, just for clarification dun sa mga nagtatanong pa about the modular and sa mga naka-online, basically parehong module lang naman yung sasagutan nyo. Well, the only difference is that yung ating mga naka-modular, sila yung mga nag-acknowledge na it's as if they cannot perform a daily routine if you would be calling them out in a meeting or in a conference. Kaya sila nag-modular. But basically, parehong-pareho lang naman ho ang activities na sasagutan natin. Okay? Well, so much for that. For any further questions and inquiry, feel free to either post a message to your advisor or to me, directed to me if that concerns my subject. Okay? So let's move forward then para makapag-umpisa na tayo sa ating Module 1, which is entitled Earth Science, Quarter 1, Characteristics of the Earth and its Subsystems. Okay. Alright, so balikan natin yung mga basic knowledge natin noong, let's say, junior high school or our past activities sa mga sciences noon, yung mga natatandaan nyo. Now, as we all know, Earth is composed of different systems which is able to support life here on Earth, diba? The only difference nga lang daw ni Earth sa ibang mga planets, as of now, as of the discovery available, is that it is able to support life at its finest. Yun nga, pinaka-evident, diba? As humans, nag-i-exist pa tayo hanggang ngayon. But, well, anyway, we would be finding out more about that later on our topics. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay. So before we answer this activity, ating preliminary activity, okay? I want you to watch this short video first, okay? Here it goes.
Earth, the only planet known to maintain life. A product of scientific phenomena and sheer chance. This blue speck in space holds the past, present, and future of our very existence. Approximately 4.5 billion years ago, the Earth formed from particles left over from the creation of our Sun. Gravity drew these particles together to form pebbles, which then formed boulders and eventually the Earth. At its heart is a solid inner core covered by a liquid outer core. Above this sits the mantle made of flowing silicate rocks and a rocky crust. This rocky mass is the third planet from the Sun, orbiting the star from an average distance of about 93 million miles. It's close enough to the Sun to be warm, unlike the cold gas giants, but not so close that its surface is exposed to extreme heat and solar radiation, as is the case with Mercury. Earth's unique position in the solar system allows it to house phenomena yet to be found anywhere else in the universe, particularly liquid surface water and life. According to one theory, much of Earth's water is as old as its rocks, both of which having formed during the Earth's earliest days. Because of Earth's unique distance from the Sun, the planet is able to contain water in all of its forms, liquid, ice, and gas, rather than have them permanently frozen or evaporated into space. But Earth is the only known place in the universe with liquid water on the surface, thereby having unique cascading effects on the planet. It hydrates the land, helping create nutrient-rich soil. It collects and pools to form oceans and freshwater systems. And it cycles upward to add moisture to Earth's protective atmosphere. And where there is liquid water, there is life. About 3.8 billion years ago in Earth's oceans, primitive life existed in the form of microbial organisms. They, and the ensuing billions of years, gave rise to a range of more advanced life forms that thrived in Earth's seas, lands, and skies. As the only world known to harbor life, Earth's biodiversity is expansive in nature. An estimated 1.5 million species of plants, animals, bacteria, fungi, and others have been cataloged, with potentially millions, if not billions more, yet to be discovered. Home to life and fueled by water, Earth houses a unique global ecosystem, as curious and as grand as the astronomical events that made them possible.
Okay, so we are now on the introduction of our lesson. We have the preliminary activity in here. So, instruction dito ay may picture sa baba. All you have to do, just be able to come up with the proper word with the letters which describes each characteristic of the picture on the left side of it. Okay, diba? Analyze each picture and give clue letters to answer on this activity. All right. So I am looking forward for the answers on this activity on your Google Classroom. Okay. And now let's proceed. The earth is just right for life as we know it. So sapat lang para mag-sustain ng life sa earth. Yung kanyang condition. Hindi siya masyadong malamig, hindi siya masyadong mainit. At kapag, like for example, if the sun is closer to the earth, yung mga liquid sa earth, ay ba, mag-evaporate yung lahat. So meaning, the positioning, the earth's axis itself, and the way how earth is able to actively produce the heat from the inside of its core, lahat po yun ay, let's say, engineered to support the life for all of us. Okay? One thing is that in the gravity itself, yun. Ano yung gravity? Yun yung center-seeking force na nag-hold sa lahat ng bagay on its place, on its order sa Earth, di ba? So, Earth has enough gravitational force to keep most gases close to its surface. Yes po, tama yung iniisip nyo. Yung ating mga gases, by the virtue na meron silang mass, in short, yung gases po, meron din silang kabigatan. And yung bigat na yon, yung mass na yon, yan ay naapektuhan ng gravity sa Earth, di ba? Kaya nga, nakasuspend lang yung mga gases. Hindi naman sila masyadong bumababa, hindi naman sila masyadong tumataas to the point that it exits the earth. Yon. And these gases makes up the atmosphere. Yeah. You could read all throughout in this citation in here that I have on my screen. You have the copy of your module with you. And please do take note. The moon's gravitational pull causes tides. Okay? Although, tama yung intuition ng iba. Kasi ako nung bata ako, I always thought of na yung tides is being brought about by the wind or the wind current itself. Diba? Sa pagbuga ng hangin. Well, it's a factor, but let us consider the moon's gravitational pull is the primary cause of tides. Diba? Kaya nga nagkaka-high tide tayo at nagkaka-low tide. And in some instances, the moon also plays a role in the distribution of life forms. Diba? Katulad ng migration ng mga ibon, navigation ng mga tao noong unang panahon. At nakaka-apekto rin ito sa pag-shift ng polarity ng Earth. So we will talk about that later, okay? If that's kind of jargon for you as of the moment, well, all I can say is, in summary, lahat ng nakikita nyong present things which is ongoing on Earth, especially, I would like to reiterate this, including calamities. Diba? Normal ho yan. Sir, question. It is being said that nag-global warming daw. Kaya nagkakaroon ng mga bagyo, pagbaha. Well, I'm glad to tell you, later we will discuss that. And again, ilang beses na po or magkailang beses nang nag-reset ang Earth. Diba? On documentation and on account sa pag-aaral ng mga scientists, it's as if at most 2 beses na tayo nagkaroon ng ice age. So, ibig sabihin, wala pa yung mga tao, wala pa yung pollution, wala pa yung mga industriya, wala pa yung mga pag-aaral about climate change and global warming. Nangyayari na talaga yan noong unang panahon. Because, let's face the reality, for somehow, the earth will face its demise and no one knows exactly when or how, but seeking throughout, reality-wise, it's happening, okay? But it's not as if it will happen tomorrow or next year. It's gradually happening and it's very evident dahil sa pagbabago ng panahon. Okay? So let's proceed with this one. Some notes. So kung maaalala nyo noon, like you were having also a notebook, something to write on, well, specifically for science, I would encourage you to do that. Diba? Bago kayo magsagot sa Google Classroom, mas maigi na isulat nyo muna sa mga notebooks nyo. Diba? It doesn't make much difference though. And just exert the extra effort. Diba? Huwag nyong isiping matrabaho. Most important part is that you're able to take down notes of these modules. Of course, ayaw namin kayong pabayaan na basta lang bibigyan ng module. And on the end, diba? Mangangapa ka, how are you able to answer it? So that's why I am piecing it on other halves, ba? Piraso per piraso para masigurado ko na naiintindihan. At of course, sasagutan ng mga estudyante ang ating modules. Okay. So, let's proceed with this question then. What makes Earth habitable? Okay. Ano-ano daw yung mga factors, yung mga underlying factors, yung mga bagay na nakakapag-produce or let's say nakakapag-support ng life-supporting elements and conditions sa Earth. Okay? Well, number 1 is temperature. Do take note of that. Okay. Now, bakit temperature? Because this will directly influence kung paano kabilis ang atoms gumagalaw. Di ba? Balikan natin yung basic definition ng temperature sa physics. Di ba? It is the average amount of kinetic energy possessed by an object. Wow, napakalalim. Okay, average amount of kinetic energy possessed by an object. Di ba? By the word itself, kinetic, gumagalaw. So, ibig sabihin, kapag ang isang bagay ay mas mataas ang temperature, tendency is yung mga atoms nito ay mas mabilis na gumagalaw. Di ba? That's what makes it hot. Yan. And kapag naman mababa ang temperature ng bagay, okay? We are not talking about hotness or coldness in here. We are talking about the degree of temperature. Kapag mas mababa ang bagay, it tends to feel like it's colder than the body who is holding it na mas mainit, di ba? Kaya nga kapag medyo pagod ka, nag-exercise ka, napahawa ka sa metal object, parang feeling mo malamig yung bakal. Well, in fact, because of thermal difference, nagiging malamig lang yung feeling mo sa bagay na yon kasi mas mainit yung body temperature mo kaysa sa bagay na yon, di ba? It's what we call sensation. But we are talking about temperature itself in here. Diba? Most of living things are limited to a temperature range limit na makikita nyo dito. Please take note of that. Diba? At kapag anong mangyayari, halimbawa sa tao, when it comes to the point na sobrang init, diba? Parang irritable kayo, pinagpapawisan kayo, so nagtitrigger yung defense mechanism ng katawan, and what is that? To produce sweat, to produce water, to secrete water out of your sweat glands. Bakit? It's for the purpose of cooling you down. Diba? Even the body itself is engineered to, let's say, adapt to certain conditions. Okay? And let us proceed to the second item. We have here the water. Bakit napakahalaga ng tubig to sustain life, especially for us for us humans, di ba? Being said na we are on top of the food chain daw, di ba? Because water actually dissolves and transports material in and out of the cell, di ba? And having to think about it, yung earth lang ang merong tamang-tamang timpla ng chemical materials like liquid water, di ba, yung H2O, that could support life, di ba? Hindi masyadong acidic, hindi rin masyadong basic. Ibig sabihin, it is potable enough for you to be able to drink it and not feel bad at all. Yan. And for the third item, you can read in here, that is for the energy. Now, living things use light or chemical energy to sun to produce necessary transport of energy, 'di ba? Paulit-ulit na yan noon, tinuturo sa atin. Yung sun daw, nagpo-produce ng sunlight, ng radiance, at yung the plants convert it by virtue of photosynthesis. Kino-convert niya yon sa ibang materials which enables it, diba, to be transported when it is being consumed as a food directly for animals or for the humans itself. Diba? Kaya nga kapag kumakain ka ng mga, let's say, mga vegetables, ibig sabihin, primarily, yung nako-convert ng vegetable na energy from the sun, or let's say, naka-harness na lang, na energy from the sun, ikaw yung pinakaunang consumer noon. Diba? Unlike if you're eating meat products, nagiging secondary consumer ka na lang. Because the primary consumer, let's say, the primary consumer is the chicken, and the secondary consumer is the human. Yan. So that's how energy goes. And one more thing that we have to emphasize in here, the inner planets such as Earth get too much sunlight for life, 'di ba? Hindi lang po 'yan sa linya ng pagkain or nutrition. The energy itself, halimbawa, kapag ang araw ay humina yung radiance sa mga region na sobrang lamig o napakalamig, 'di ba? It will not equalize the temperature at all. Diba? Pwedeng mag-freeze to death yung mga organism doon. At sa ibang parte naman ng globe, ay pwedeng it can turn into a scorching hot desert kapag nasobrahan naman sa radiance ng araw. So we are talking about here as the sun as the main source of energy for supporting life on earth, di ba? Yung sun yung liwanag, hindi lang yung liwanag, at yung init mismo na nagbibigay ng buhay sa mga life-supporting elements sa Earth, katulad po ng halaman, yung ating mga tinatawag na biotic and abiotic factors. Yan. Later, we will discuss about that. Okay? So number 4, this is the thing which is, let's say, medyo natitake for granted ng iba when considering describing ano ba yung mga conditions or advantages ng Earth sa ibang planet. Well, I can tell, number 4 in here is very precise. Yes, correct. The right distance from the sun. Diba? Dahil nga yung Earth ay nasa Goldilocks zone, diba? Ibig sabihin, habitable zone. A region which just have the right temperature to sustain life, di ba? It simply means not too hot or not too cold. Ganun lang ho kasimple yun. Diba? If we tend to get closer to the sun, of course, logic-wise, mas iinit. Mas tataas yung temperature. Mas lumalayo ka sa sun, and we will become an ice planet soon. Bakit? There is no enough radiance, no enough transfer of energy from this star, which is sun. Diba? And number 5, the strong magnetic fields. Yan. So ano po, sir, yung magnetic field? So, for the benefit of others, just to imagine how magnetic field goes. That is the polarity of the Earth, di ba? Yung negativity and yung positivity niya, di ba? Termed to us the North Pole or South Pole. Yan. It shields us from the electromagnetic radiation coming from the sun. But the magnetic field deflects the radiation that may destroy the ozone layer. So, plain logic. For example, kung walang magnetic field ang Earth, walang mag-filter out ng, let's say, excess radiation from the sun. Kapag nangyari yon, iinit yung Earth. Kapag uminit yung Earth, mag-evaporate lahat ng tubig. Yung atmosphere magiging denser. Ano ibig sabihin ng magiging denser? Ibig sabihin, bibigat yung capacity niya. It's either magpuproduce naman siya ng sobrang tubig pababa, or yung ibang gas mag-e-escape na, rather, out from the atmosphere of the Earth. Kasi, considering that meron namang gravity, but kung wala rin itong strong magnetic field na to, I doubt, di ba? Yung mga foreign materials from the outer space, mga alien materials kung tawagin, yan po ay papasok sa Earth. And who knows what will happen next. Okay? So number 6, nutrients. Yan. These are the materials that build and maintain the organism's body. Diba? Like for example, for us humans, saan natin kinukuha yung mga basic nutrients? For mostly sa plants, diba? Sa mga vegetables, green leafy vegetables, sa mga root crops, sa mga fruits, etc. And of course, to animal products. Diba? Sa meat from animals, iba sa milk from them, sa eggs from, halimbawa, chickens. Yeah, because those are the common, especially here in the Philippines, those are the common palate of Filipinos, di ba? It's either ang ulam nyo ay pork or chicken or isda, then so be it, di ba? Kaya nga nag-e-enjoy tayo kapag nakakakita tayo ng foreign dish, ba? Nakakaiba sa atin. Because for the Filipino plate, number 1, hindi mawawala yung grains, di ba? Yung rice. Okay, so that is our version of, let's say, source of nutrients. Kasi yun ang orientation natin, yun na yung nakasanayan, di ba? Your stomach will feel upset kapag nakakain ka ng, halimbawa lang naman, ng hilaw na octopus na gumagalaw pa yung tentacle. Nako. So, yan, be mindful of that one. So, always remember, maintaining, or let's say, attaining and maintaining proper body nutrients at first hand, yun yung isa sa pinaka main goal mo, di ba? Kaya nga kung babalikan nyo sa hierarchy of needs, di ba? Mawala na yung pera, mawala na yung, or let's say worst to worst, mawala na yung ibang needs ng tao. But basically, you will come at some point, we will meet at one end point, lahat po ng tao kailangan kumain araw-araw for nutrients. Isa yun sa pinakaunang basic needs, hindi lang ng tao, but ng ibang organisms for them to survive, of course. Yan. So, on our next item, I hope you are familiar with this, but don't worry. If ever not, we will do our best to explain this at the simplest term possible. Diba? May mga tinatawag tayong biogeochemical processes. Now, as simple as it is, ano yung mga biogeochemical processes? From the word itself, bio, which means it is something or it is a topic about life. Geo, it is something which pertains to the earth or somehow earth's components and processes. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga biogeochemical processes, ito yung mga cycles na nangyayari sa earth which enables earth itself to sustain life and maintain life rather. 'Di ba? Halimbawa, yung water cycle, yan. Kasi having to think about it, does water have life? I don't think so. But water supports life, 'di ba? So importante siya. Yes, of course. Technically, lahat ng nandito sa earth importante, 'di ba? Kahit nga lamok, importante 'yan eh. There is practically nothing in this world which doesn't impose any importance at all. Di ba? Halimbawa, volcanism. Para sa iba, yung volcanic activity, that's very dangerous. Di ba? But sometimes, let's think about it. Wala naman talagang nagsabi sa yung tumira ka sa tabi ng bulkan. Natural lang naman na kapag nagkaka-activity yung bulkan, ikaw yung isa sa pinakaunang makakaramdam ng lindol. Tsaka mag-absorb ng ashfall, di ba? So, that's plainly how it goes. But well, anyway, for this one, biogeochemical processes, let us not forget about this. This is something very important. And you could take down notes onto it siyempre sa inyong notebooks. And let us proceed with the greenhouse gases, of course. Yan. So, without the greenhouse effect, Earth would be frozen. Yan. So, just imagine, yung greenhouse gases pala, important din yun. Yes, it's very important actually. Diba? Yung iba, ang sinasabi, yung greenhouse gases daw is sumisira ng, let's say, ng atmosphere. Of course, if you have this large amount of something which is not in balance, makakasira talaga yon, di ba? Lahat nga ng sobra ay masama. Di ba? Kaya itong greenhouse gases, maintaining lang dapat ang amount nito. Because ito yung nagtatrap ng heat sa Earth. At kapag di mo na-contain yung heat na yon, di ba? Saan kukuha ng energy yung mga plants? Saan kukuha ng, let's say, ng energy na mag-i-induce sa mga plants na yung mga roots nila ay sumipsip ng tubig or to extract water. 'Di ba? Kasi yung soil, it acts like a sponge. 'Di ba? Nag-absorb lang siya ng tubig, but there are certain types of soil na lets water flow all throughout the rock bottom. And so for that, the greenhouse gases, they make sure, or these gases make sure that ang lahat ng may susupply ng sun sa atin na heat, or let's say radiance, yung energy na yon maha-harness natin at its maximum potential. Yun. That's the very simple definition of that one. Diba? So number 8, you can see in here, it is protected by the plate tectonics from the very hot temperature of the core. Diba? Yung Earth, totoo yan, yung Earth, pinoprotektahan siya, yung surface ng Earth, pinoprotektahan siya mismo ng plate tectonics, diba? Naalala nyo si Alfred Wegener? Yan. Si Alfred Wegener he's one of the few people who studied about plate tectonics. Diba? Yung mga tectonic plates. So basically, sa mga hirap pag-intindihin yung tectonic plates, so imagine niyo na lang, sa timba ng tubig, may mga palutang-lutang na styrofoam. Diba? And whatever is the activity underneath that water, the surface of the styrofoam foam is being protected kasi siya ay nakasuspend sa water. Ibig sabihin, siya ay nakalutang doon. Well, basically, that's the truth. Diba? If you would try to imagine then, lahat ng plates sa Earth, nakalutang ho yan sa lava, sa molten material, sa molten rock material. Diba? Kaya nga gumagalaw siya. It just creates an illusion for us that it is a damn solid material. Diba? It just creates an illusion that all throughout the bottom, magkakarugtong yan. Because the movement is very minimal on our point of view to be able to observe real time. Yan. And lastly, We have here our activity. So ito yung ating first main activity sa topic na to, di ba? You could go ahead and read all throughout your module. You can take your time to self-study and also to write everything in your notebook and hopefully to transfer that sa inyong Google Classroom. Okay, so andito yung mga questions, andito yung reflection. So answer the following questions on a separate sheet of paper. So pagka answer nyo sa notebook nyo, pwede nyo na siyang i-type directly sa inyong Google Classroom. Andun din ho yung tanong na yan. Okay? So, let's proceed. So, we go now to the second part of our lesson, di ba? The subsystems of the Earth, di ba? So, as you can see in here in the picture, we have these subsystems, the air, the land, the water, and life. Yan. So, Earth is one of the inner planets of the solar system. Diba? Sabi na nga, it is said to be 4.56 billion years old. Imagine. The only planet in the solar system to harbor life. As of discovery yan, I am not seeing all throughout and universally tayo lang ang may life. Who knows? Diba? Like for example, on my point of view, we are just waiting for that certain discovery. You know, it's safe to say as of now, the Earth is the only planet which is able to sustain life. Bakit? So, let us take a look at this 4 words with the prefix sphere on them. Okay? So, number 1 is the atmosphere. So, as I've said a while ago, atmosphere usually made up of the different types of gases which enables to produce. It's like a blanket of gases sa Earth na nagko-contain ng heat and nagpo-produce ng water for us. Like for example, on the water cycle, di ba kapag nag-evaporate yung tubig, the vapor is in gaseous form. Kapag yung vapor nasa taas na, it condenses, it comes back to its liquid form, kaya nga umuulan. 'Di ba? Isa sa pinaka main purpose ng atmosphere. Yung to make sure that everything will go out fine, everything is in rotation rather. 'Di ba? Especially that heat. It's making sure that it's in containment na nandito lang siya sa Earth. All right? So sa atmosphere, just do take note of this. May iba tayong mga layers dyan. So, we have the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, and thermosphere. Okay, which we will discuss later on our next lessons. So, unahin natin yung pangalawang ito. Diyan sa picture, makikita nyo yung water, di ba? So, considering hydrosphere, the term itself, it is the liquid component of the Earth, including oceans, glacial waters, and freshwater bodies. Diba? It covers daw around 70% of the Earth's surface, and 98% of the water on Earth is salt water daw. Yan. So, sa hydrosphere, wag nyo nang pahirapan yung mga sarili nyo. Any body of water connected to another body of water is part of the system called hydrosphere, di ba? From the streams of the mountain, di ba, yung mga spring, tsaka mga stream ng tubig, dadaan siya sa mga small canals. From small canals, it will be integrated into a larger river, sa ilog. And all rivers flow to the seas. Di ba? Except, of course, kung meron tayong lake. So, that is something that is being contained within a body of land. Okay? But still, that's part of the hydrosphere. Di ba? So, the first one, is our atmosphere that consists mainly of these gases that helps to support life. And for the hydrosphere, ito yung mga tubig, or let's say the combination of the salt water, the glacial waters, and including freshwater bodies, di ba? Yung mga tinatawag natin tubig tabang at tubig alat sa Tagalog. Yan. Lahat po yan hydrosphere. And we go to the point where we have to discuss the geosphere. From the term itself, geo, which means practically earth, it is the solid sphere of the earth. Yan ho yung solid part niya. So this is where geologic processes such as volcanism and orogenesis. Ano yung orogenesis? That is the process of building a mountain. And the lithosphere is part of the geosphere that is composed of the solid outermost part of the planet. So ibig sabihin, yung kinakatayuan natin is lithosphere. Okay? Kindly take note of that. So on the fourth item, we have here the biosphere. So ano yung biosphere? So it is the living sphere of the earth. It is the totality of all the ecosystems. So long story short, kung saan may proper abundance of water, just enough amount of sunlight, and other, let's say, elements or materials which are able to support life. Kung asan lahat ng yon nag-iipon-ipon, as long as it is able to support life, we call it the biosphere. Diba? Okay. And it is mainly made up of the abiotic and biotic factors, diba? Kaya nga nag-interact sila. So that's why we call it the biosphere. Okay? Okay. So we come here to the end part of our lesson and to the end part of our activity. So as you can see in here, there is a diagram with the, let's say, a map drawing of the Earth at its center. So yung pangalan ng activity is Y. Okay. So directions, create Y type of questions that relate to the interactions of the four subsystems of the Earth as illustrated below. Okay? So halimbawa, yung Y questions mo, isusulat mo siya dito underneath ni atmosphere. Okay? And at your best explanation, be able to come up rather with the best explanation in your own words on how you are going to address or answer that question that you had just made. Diba? Dito sa box sa center, halimbawa, sa gitna ng atmosphere and biosphere, you can identify it on that. So, pakisulat na lang po dyan. So, bibigyan ko kayo ng example, okay? But, of course, hindi nyo na pwedeng isulat to. Example ko na eh. Okay. So, si atmosphere, yan, what type of questions tayo sa mga magtatanong pala, Sir, tigi-ilan po, kahit tigda-dalawa na lang. On the record I am saying that 2 questions each, it may do. Okay? As long as you do it properly, that's better. So let's proceed with the example now. Sa atmosphere, halimbawa, one type of why question is, why is it important for the Earth to be able to maintain heat on its surface? Yan. Okay? So, why question yun, diba? So, ang sagot ko naman doon, isusulat ko dito sa baba. Like for example, kung makikita nyo yung box, yan. Sa baba ng atmosphere, doon ko siya isusulat. So, why is it important? So, ang sagot ko naman doon, it is important because the atmosphere is containing and distributing heat or radiance from the sun evenly all across the earth. to be able to proceed with the biogeochemical processes which sustains life. O yun yung answer ko. Diba? Real time yun hindi scripted yun. Yan. So, be able to come up with those ideas. And let's see, good luck on your journey then. Thank you very much for taking your time in watching our lessons. I highly appreciate it. And you do have a safe week, everyone, okay? Goodbye, everyone.